Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry, and it's time for some more Baldur's Gate 3 because we have a new patch, and new patch means new content, except it doesn't really mean new content, but it does a little bit. Rather, it means overworking of some core game systems to make the gameplay differently and try things out and experiment. And I'm happy to dive into that, play about a bit, show it off, maybe even get a whole new playthrough in, and I should have Fujivato and the White Seer back in touch sometime soon to start another multiplayer series as well as we explore the content of this new patch together. But you know what? I've held off a little while and I was going to do a single player playthrough as well anyway. So let's dive right in, and because it's a new patch we're going to enjoy the intro one more time because, you know, some of you might not have seen it fully. So in that case, quiet please everyone, fair play for the actors, let's enjoy the show. I have resisted the urge. Aren't you all proud of me? I did not make the mindflayer born joke once again at the sight of that mural. Really wanted to though. Really wanted to. So this is interesting. This is the Lae'zel with the aesthetic cheekbone shapes and jawline and the prettier face. The one we don't get in the game, where rather she's more of a hatchet-faced victim of having her head crushed in a vice. Probably an attempt to destroy the tadpole within it. Speaking of tadpoles... yes, some monsters have truly repulsive reproductive cycles. And that's intentional. It truly is intended to be really nasty. That would surely be extremely painful. I mean, I don't know exactly how sensitive the flesh in our heads around the bones is, but I'd imagine it's pretty sensitive. And you get a bang on the head and you know about it, right? And this is nasty.
Who are you?
So, who are we indeed? Well, I have a little bit of a plan. You see, this patch introduces a little bit more content for Shadowheart. You know, the nasty, horrible woman that anyone in their right minds wants to have nothing to do with. She really is not a very nice person, but apparently she has an extremely vocal fan base who are dedicated to shouting about how great and amazing she is because she's nasty and horrible and calls them names and doesn't want to have anything to do with them. I'm sure some people are really into that, but I'm probably not one of those people. That being said, there is a lot of discussion on the internet about how amazing her content is when you really get into it. So I'd like to try that out. So, how do I want to do this? Well, first off, yes, I'm not sticking with that name. So, if I'm going to be experiencing a lot of Shadowheart content, because she is mean and nasty and hates everyone and doesn't want you to do anything heroic, and she's self-centered, selfish, egotistical, arrogant, has a major superiority complex, and is also really indecisive and doesn't make up her mind, and is horrible and nasty and hates everyone. That means I'm dedicated to having a cleric in the party most of the time. So who is the cleric's best friend? Well, the cleric kind of likes everyone. But let's take a look at classes. Wizard, bit of healing is nice, you know, a bit of support. The protective spells and supportive spells of priest, very useful. Now, What we don't want is another cleric, because in a party of 4 you generally don't want to be doubling up on classes very much, unless the 2 representatives of the class are extremely different from each other. Druid could be fun, but I kind of tried that in the old Druid party, and I think I need a little bit of a break from that class. While the cleric doesn't really have a best friend, the cleric is definitely the fighter's best friend. I mean, there is an issue with the cleric, right? There's an issue with Shadowheart. She has been tweaked and adjusted so many times. She's had her intelligence and dexterity swapped, literally inverted, swapped over, because originally her dexterity of 8 led to her getting focused down by monsters so damn hard she couldn't stand up. You know, she was like a kitten in a wet paper bag, you know. Just took a major beating and had ended up having to spend most of her healing resources on herself. And that got a bit into the old Might and Magic thing, like Might and Magic 6 and 7 and 8, where you were like, all these classes are nice, but you don't really want to take a cleric in the party because they're just a liability, because yes, they're a powerful healer, but they can't protect themselves and they get focused down so hard that they end up using most of their protective and regenerative abilities on themselves, and you almost feel as if you didn't have them in the party and had a less competent healer. You'd actually have a much more competent party and be able to do things. And Shadowheart was definitely a support character of that variety, in that she needed more support than anyone else in the party. So, her intelligence and dexterity were swapped, yet her scheming personality, with its superiority complex, looking down her nose at everyone, remained the same, despite the fact that now she was intellectually subnormal. You know, she had an intellect on a similar level to, well, slightly higher than Forrest Gump. And yet she was supposed to be a criminal genius, evil mastermind, controlling and manipulating people. It didn't quite work somehow. So now her personality's been changed a little tiny bit, and some of her, she's got some more content we can mess around with and experience. So we don't want another cleric in the party. The cleric, however, is the fighter's best friend. Look, your party magic user gets beaten up a bit, cleric heals them. Party thief gets beaten up a bit, cleric heals them. Party fighter gets beaten up a lot and really enjoys the healing. Cleric gets beaten up a lot and heals himself. Doesn't feel like they're a fun addition to the party. It feels like they're just it's kind of tagging along. So let's go with fighter. Our defense is nice, but I'm going to go protection because I've enjoyed using a shield and protecting in the past. I'm aware that 5th edition combat is heavily geared towards two-handed weapons or a weapon in each hand because too many people played 3rd edition. But let's make him a boy instead of a girl, and not some kind of elf. In fact, we'll make him some kind of human. Let's say we're going for a fighter. Backgrounds now do things. Oh, also I have experienced some bugs already with this patch, so I'll be quickly checking one of those. Okay, that's good, that's better. And interesting. So, backgrounds now mean something. Charlatan, criminal, entertainer. I mean, folk hero should be fun and easy to play, right? Guild artisan could be interesting. Because now we gain things from background. We have background objectives. Noble, a little too easy to stereotype. Outlander, maybe. A sage, would be an interesting one for a warrior. Soldier, too easy for a fighter urchin. Acolyte or sage? I'd like to take a moment here for us all to appreciate the crushing disappointment over the lack of the Paladin playable class in this update. It has been a great disappointment, and one we will unfortunately have to live with. There are no new character races or character classes in this update. So I feel Acolyte will be appropriate, and I think there's even a feat I can take at 4th level to get a little bit of clerical power. So I will absolutely do that. Obviously that's far too much strength for a fighter, and a bit more wisdom, a bit of charisma if we're going to be a clerical type. You know what? Pump that. Yeah. We could knock this down a little more. Here's a theory, right? If we knock this dexterity down, we can lower our armor class and make ourselves a more appetizing target for enemies, right? Yeah, I'm liking that. If we're going religion and insight, they're good. Acrobatics for a warrior, yeah. Survival, maybe. Perception, athletics. No, I can go with this. This will be interesting. Right. What do we want him to look like? I think I like this different voice.
What was that?
That being said, both the male voices currently available, both sound very high and soft. And if I was playing like a rock-hard, double-hard dwarf or something, and I go around going, what was that? I wonder what's going on here. I'm a really tough motherfucker and I'm going to beat you up now. It doesn't really sound like a physical, down-to-earth person, you know? It sounds like some kind of airy-fairy head in the clouds, dreaming boy who's obsessed with this waterfall here. So, let's have some fun with shapes, shall we? Oh, hello, that could be interesting, yeah. Maybe a little warmer? Well, a little less... okay, we can work with this. So, all of these have been rearranged a bit again. So I've noticed they do like to tweak. Ugh. Oh no, another punk SJW wanker fucking chav hairstyle. A bit too long for a chav. Right. I'm thinking what goes with this skin. Oh, hello. Yeah. Alright. They really need to work on these beard models a bit. Hello, I am the hero of your tale. You know, we might actually go with this. I mean, that's a good standby, right? That's fairly solid. Yeah. And that kind of works apart from the edges of the moustache just flipped out. That looks a little bit too pretentious. Doesn't look humble enough, you know? We could go with the chav beard to look like a complete Wally. Let's not do that. Right, what other options do we have? Elegant, but a little overdone. Alright. I'm kind of liking the jutting forward aspect of this ever so slightly. Oh my god, that's practically stubble, it's so thin. See, this would be a bad option because it doesn't quite align with the sideburns of the hair. And it's more where you see it here, where it goes under and then just stops abruptly, with the hair just kind of going out over it. So let's go back to... yeah. And let's give this a little more colour. Let's say this. Or... beard isn't really responding very much. Okay. Oh, actually, that's quite... I mean, that's okay. If we go... there. And take this skin up a notch. And then let's go for some nice hazel eyes. Maybe that's a little too blue, so we'll go with that one. Looking for which of these do I like most? And that is a bit paler, so it'll differentiate with the skin and hair more. We'll go with that one. Okay. Do you want to like make him look like a thug, like a street person? No, he's a... but maybe some kind of religious devotion. That looks like the kind of thing a religious fanatic might have. Overall... oh, you know what? I have a better idea. Because we can utilize these soon. Right, let's give him a name. Who does this look like? Andros Velocides. There we go. That looks like a kind of name that suits this individual, and it has that classical pseudo-religious ring to it. Right, well, let's go to the next page. You know the one.
Tell me, who do you dream of at night?
Hello there. Well, probably not you. Andros looks like he'd like someone, possibly, you know, maybe he's not that imaginative. Maybe he just likes people who are like from a similar kind of culture to himself. Let's go with that one. Say hello. What options do we have here? Oh, hello, you. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's make that nice dark. We go with that one. Yeah. Alright. That might almost work. I think there's one that's similar. It's not you, is it? No, it's if it's not, then hey, I think I'll just go for that one. Okay, awesome. Alright. So now we can go all heavy and be like, hey look, she wears makeup. He dreams of this strange woman, and let's go. Dear. Maybe. Ooh, hello. This has potential to be daft and silly. That's actually got a very sort of classical Greco-Roman sort of Mediterranean look to it, ever so slightly. So sure. Can we... is there a... okay. That contrasts well with the skin, so... thing is, that looks too much like a barcode, you know, that's like saying, you know, at what point in your life did you know that you never wanted to work in real estate? So, I mean, the birds are kind of nice, they don't quite suit the overall look so far, though. What is this one? Why don't I recognize it? Oh, it's up there under the hair, that's why. I was looking for it. Alright. We're gonna like this one and tone it down to like a 30. That, maybe like a 45. And probably a different colour. Okay, what else? You know, going for religious affiliation, if we turn back that up to like a 70. I'm gonna go 65. and then a different colour, like the red. The red kind of works, but I think we want something a bit darker. Grey green. Can we have something with less green in it? Something like a nice, healthy, well, unhealthy dark brown. Oh look, there we go. Dunk. Black. This is black. This is black. What's the difference? They look exactly the same. Okay, so knock it down to like 45-ish. Yeah, that works. That can be his lady love in his dreams. Okay, here we go. And so he returns to his duties, his task accomplished. Drifting on up the hallway, so potent his feet do not even touch the floor. His dead companion lies at rest beside him. He must be replaced. The machinery is strange and alien. The mere mind of mortal men cannot fathom its depths. As the giant squid ship thing comes flying out of the clouds. Surprise! We've come here to tickle you with all our tickly tentacles. And this poor guardsman, he's having a really bad day. And it's not about to get any better either. They just explode into particles and are sucked up into the ship. But hey look! What's this? Surprise! Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the Nautiloid. We is gonna burn it up, boys! In it! Just feel that impact. I mean, this is a quality introduction. They put a lot of time and effort into this before they even dared show it to the rest of us. Boing. Yes, that mind flayer spent months in mind flayer school learning to telekinetically ping the bra straps of the mind flayer 3 rows in front of him. Except she wasn't wearing a bra, because mind flayers don't really have boobs, because they gain an androgynousness when they destroy the original body and absorb it and turn it into their own monster mess. It's not that they're asexual, it's just that the reproductive organs just kind of shrivel up and have no further use. There, see, she has an actual attractive bone structure. Connect the nerves of the transponder! Burn your babies! Too damn right. And he pings it while one of the dragons is still close. I wonder how much of it is an actual change of character model and how much of it is camera angles. Because in game we obviously view her face more often from above, which gives it a narrower, longer, more stretched out, hatchet-like appearance. Whereas she's mostly viewed from more upwards angles, which makes her jaw seem wider. No, that's definitely a jaw. You know, at that moment when she looks up. And then the corners of those jaws just somehow disappear and turn into something ugly. It's weird. I'm not saying that a wide angular jaw is necessarily attractive in a woman, but Even here, this face is differently proportioned to the one we see in game. Okay, I'm on load screen, you can't take forever. And so they called him Andros. Now, first things first. Characters acknowledge commands and verbally respond to them from time to time.
If not over, then through.
I appreciate this, but they do it far too often. We have been informed that we can adjust this in the options menu.
Good.
Unfortunately, the options menu is currently very broken for me and causes a lot of issues, game-breaking issues, and I can't access the options menu to change anything.
A brain in a jar.
Do I want all the brains this time? I don't know, maybe I do. Look, we have some minor tweaks to content, so getting all 3 of the brains might be a good idea. Probably not, it's probably a very bad idea. So I'm not going to try and pick up every single item in the tutorial this time, because I'm
Swift as my feet can carry me.
here for the new
Light on my
content.
Devilkin. Am I in the hells? One day I'll catch a break.
So I'm not even going to take this lift up to the upper floor.
With haste.
Many of us know what's there, but I think that can wait until I get Fujivato and the White Seer to get the Grand Multiplayer attempt, because I'm pretty sure that White Seer is going to want to try and get that thing, because he hasn't managed to do it yet.
I wanted the easy road.
So I should probably play Party Cleric and cast Guidance to help him or something. Right, let's nip across here and go say hello to our new friend.
Abomination. This is your end.
She has lip sync now, but they still haven't fixed the hair at her right temple.
Tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
I imagine that's a fairly low priority though.
What is this? Skvar.
So here, for example, the corners of the jaw
Blackith blesses me this
have
day.
been pushed inwards and
Together,
lifted somewhat.
We might survive.
And it's the lifting
Imps block the
and
path
adjusting of
forward.
that jaw angle
You will assist me
and
in
the
destroying
narrowing of
them.
the cheeks
We must reach the helm before we
and
transform.
the way that the cheekbones have been pushed inwards and drawn forwards, giving her a more sort of horse-like aggressive forwards focused face. And this hair and his moustache are going wild here. They are vastly overreacting to the wind. What do you mean by transform?
We carry mindflayer parasites.
See,
Unless
there,
we
she gets that pouty
Unless
look in
we
the
are
cheek
cleansed,
before getting down to the
our
cheekbone
bodies
where
and
it's
minds will
bulging
be
out.
tainted and twisted.
Oddly,
Within days, we will be
because
gauged.
there's no
Mindflayers.
supporting mass behind it to make it work. And so she gets this very wedge-shaped face, which is not as attractive as when it was more rounder and filled out. Also, the very sad-looking eyes. That's not so bad though. That's just mostly because of the makeup. Oh, she looks really upset there now. Look, okay, hang on. We better go then.
First,
Come on, lady.
we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship.
All right.
We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
So she gets when she tilts her head back like that and gets more animated.
Time to press ahead.
That's when her features seem a little more attractive. So they were mostly seen from those lower angles during the intro as well. So while I'm still sure it's a absolutely separate character model, I'm thinking it's the default downwards view and like the portrait here that often give her a more unattractive appearance.
Don't waste a step.
Let's go. Alright, so fighting has been tidied up a little bit Let's see how it goes. First off, you'll note that jump and disengage are two entirely separate actions now. And disengage is no longer a bonus action, so people won't be hopping out of combat like crazy, deranged frogmen.
Death won't take me yet.
Nice! I'll have that if I can. Absolutely.
My path be true.
Okay, lady, rush up here. Shoot this one. Come on, it's right there under my mouse. You can do this. God, woman. It is possible. Nope, you're gonna make me move the camera. You annoying person. And switch back to your sword, because they're coming. You have a bow as well, don't you? Let's see if you can use it well. Slightly better than her, apparently. Well, we'll see about that. Okay. Lady, go wide, take aim, and shoot. Beautiful.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle. Now, to the helm.
Mate, don't follow her. She's just gonna jump down here, man. You've wasted all that time coming up. So now I need to be a little more careful who loots what, because we have this graded encumbrance bar. I'm not sure I like this with the colour values changing slightly. I have a habit of picking up everything with the main character and then redistributing it eventually, but they often end up carrying more than anyone else, so I'm going to have to be a little careful about that.
Need to find a way forward.
Where are you? Hello. You have things and stuff.
At the ready.
So, while I was waiting for a good opportunity to record, I have played a little bit. I played to the end of the tutorial. A little bit. I haven't played to the Druid's Grove yet, but I played a little bit on the beach as well.
What path lies before?
But I also avoided a decent amount of the new content so that I could experience some stuff here. Let's go up in here. So this cutscene has actually undergone some changes. As she walks out, Lae'zel gets a oily, waxy look on her skin, and now the dragon doesn't land on the front of the ship, but it just falls off on its own. And sometimes we visibly fall down, sometimes we don't, sometimes we're just left standing at the end, sometimes we have fallen down without falling down. And she doesn't smugly, arrogantly look up at the dragon flying overhead as we fall over like, yeah, I'm not scared of this thing.
Moving in.
So there is a difference. Lae'zel, don't follow me. I know you want to. Don't jump in the flames. You jumped really near the flames. That's very disturbing.
Another brain.
Okay, so now we're getting messages about picking up these brains. Which might mean that at some point in the future, having all three of them
Another step forward.
will be particularly important.
Something's on my mind.
Oh, lend a hand, won't you, love? There's a rat in the kitchen. 10 red rats. And they're flying and they're clawing.
The mind flayers have already enthralled him. Leave him, or we will share his fate.
So that was an interesting amulet he was wearing, and now he's called a cultist. Whereas previously he was a baker, there was a farmer and all sorts, you know. So it seems that the mind flayers have begun to create a uniform for their followers.
Bull got me. Got me.
There we are again.
Got
See?
me. Right in the gut. Tell the babes I'll be alright.
Need to find a way forward.
I'm glad we were not.
Watch the horns!
I mean, if we had been given such outfits, it would have helped us blend in.
Moving ahead.
Now, over here, let's fight again. Alright, can you get there? I suspect you can, lady. So, jumping still gives an unnatural extra movement range, to the point where it might as well be considered automatically included in our movement at all times. It's a little odd.
What do I have to lose?
Not quite enough. So I'm avoiding pushing and shoving for now, because that apparently should not be a bonus action. Well, lady, you've struck well there. And you can pick up this two-handed axe, because it's heavy.
No one's stopped me yet.
Not stopping you from what, man? Okay, come on, we can get these things. We're just gonna leave him there. He'll be fine.
Breathe deep and move.
So far, so good. You know, we're on the ship. We've got the stirring. We could jump off the side and die if we wanted. We probably won't do that.
On my way.
You know, we got the rousing emotional music, the constant sort of battle anthem cheering in our ears. And now Lae'zel's going to show us what a sword can do to flesh.
I crave blood.
It's pretty nasty.
All right. What now?
Let's be careful about that.
Time to press ahead.
So this is where we start to head into new territory. New content territory, that
Can't
is.
slow down.
Isik, back! Touch nothing without knowing its purpose.
So we're going to ignore these three buttons
Swift as my
and
feet
go
can carry
this
me.
way. Oh my, there appears to be someone stuck in this pod who wants our attention. Apparently she's really important now, even though she's just as obnoxious as before.
You! Get me out of this damn thing!
We have no time for stragglers.
Well now, unfortunately, apparently there's new content here that needs to be explored, so maybe we should not be too hasty. Look, I'm gonna have a look at this, see if I can work out a way of opening it.
The construction is too alien. Nothing looks familiar.
This ship is crashing. Do you intend to die for a stranger?
Andros is not well versed in alien construction, so he's going to look around and see. He's not going to leave her without hope. He's going to say, "Hey, look, I'm going to try and help you."
Try that contraption next to the pod. They did something to it when they sealed me in. Hurry! Please!
Now that contraption was present in the previous patch, but it did nothing. Let's see what we can do with this.
The console appears dormant.
Oh dear.
The mechanisms are completely unrecognizable at first, but then you spy an empty socket.
Something appears to be missing. So,
Whatever fits in that socket must power this thing.
let's rob this stuff first, because we can.
Light on my feet.
Now, initial thought, maybe the big nasty button behind this pod is required, right? Maybe after this transformation has occurred,
Moving in.
we can just like pull something off this one, like pull some kind of power crystal out of this one.
Another
That
step
appears
forward.
that it might not be the case though, so let's go check up on the dead priestess here. She's got the key and everything else. It's now called a labyrinth key. I'm not sure if I remember it being called
A
that
key.
before. But it's now a story item instead of just the key for that little thing. So let's take this key all the way back to the little chest on the table and utilize it. And pick up these things while we're at it. Why not?
Needs a key.
So, some gold, an onyx, and now an eldritch rune. Looks like it's written in mindflayer braille, designed for them to run their tentacles across it and feel it rather than look at it with their eyes. A strange energy buzzes through this alien object. You are sure you've never seen any of the like. Yet a part of you recognizes it as a component of some bigger machine.
This might unlock those
Well,
controls next to the pod.
let's approach this bigger machine and have some fun.
The console appears dormant.
Now, I know this is a hard decision between these two, but I think we're blatantly going to go for this one.
The console hums to life.
Okay, so I don't like the way she gets out there. She appears to have too much agency at first, the way she rises, but when she flops down, much better.
Thought I was done for.
Well, you still might be. Hello, lady.
I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness, because you have a Gith with you.
You keep dangerous company.
Now, the mid-word cut-off there, thank you, was not appreciated, and it does occur a few more times in some of her initial new content. Well, I mean, dangerous company might help us in this dangerous environment. Look at her, her arms folded, agreeing. You got a problem with them? I'm just going to distract, right? I'm going to distract completely from the hostility and try and take her mind off it. Did you feel that just now? We were in each other's heads.
I did. It must be because of those parasites they put in us. They'll have to wait. I need to get off this ship alive first. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way.
Alright then. Let's get going. I'm Andros Velocities.
Shadowheart. One moment.
And with remarkable presence of mind, she retrieves the thing. Hey, what's that?
It's nothing. Trust me.
Enough of this chatter. We need to get to the helm. Now.
She's right. Lead on.
Interesting. So, that was very interesting because the last time I did that, a strange blue ghost ran away from her just at the end of the conversation, and it made no sense. But that didn't happen this time. Huh.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
I think I know. You may wonder if the gods are watching you. I imagine that is something you will ponder frequently, my friend.
How much farther can I go?
Perhaps you will find an answer.
We're nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own judgment.
Githyanki.
Caniac indeed, whatever that is. So, I think she doesn't like being bossed around. She doesn't like the way that Lae'zel is trying to assert her authority.
What path lies before me?
Well, my friend, that's a very good question. And now Shadowheart hides in the shadows, retreating, withdrawing back, and is completely invisible somehow. Or she's locked behind the door, trapped outside the room. Oh no, the imps of death!
Thrall, connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape now.
Alright, let's do this. Let's do it with violence. Got him. I mean, it hurt, but... And... Hooray! All the combat buttons have disappeared. This is a fix, but a solution that fixes it. Using the character selection button to... So I don't know why that bug occurs. It occurred last time. It's a little bit odd. We'll have that. And that.
End this.
Why don't you advance into the room? Now, let's do a little bit of healing. I want to do Sacred Flame. I'm thinking use healing word to keep the mind flayer alive, because that will enable our escape. I don't mind if the enemies pass their saving throws, and Lae'zel's turn has been skipped because of the odd skip turn end turn button bug thing. I'm liking the dash there, so he gets into combat. We have potions aplenty, but let's just do this instead.
Let's finish this. Darkness take you.
I'm fury.
Okay, lady, you know what to do. Piss her off and steal her kill. Let their rivalry continue, as it spasms and thrashes about on the floor uncontrollably. Also, loot all this stuff. You know it makes sense. Loving the fumble there, that's perfect. Right.
We're dead.
At the ready.
Can you get him? You can't get him, it's fine.
Focus.
Let's not run just yet.
On the move.
We may need to do some healing. Look at this! Look at this support character!
Take two.
Don't you feel amazing, Mind Flare? Don't you feel really supported and loved? And well, probably yes, given the way you're a control freak and want everyone to obey and,
On the move.
well, protect at the moment, really. Well, that was an interesting After Effects sound. Right. Well, leg it. Pick up.
Maybe not the best time. Very well.
It's clear. Hurry, before they strike.
It's that, when she lowers her head like that, that's when it looks really ugly. And horse-like. Right. Enemies abound. Shadowheart goes and steals loads of items off shelves.
On my way.
It's like she's got an Asbo or something.
Worth grabbing.
Yeah, and these, mate, and these, come on. Can't reach any of them? Okay.
Taking position.
Okay, I didn't quite catch all of that, lady, and I'm pretty sure some of it was in foreign. But given that I am not in my native land, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. Can you reach this one?
Blood follows
Excellent.
me everywhere.
Okay, you've got nothing on you, which is most disappointing. So apparently, Commander Zalk now has a very nice magic sword we can get. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to get that because it's very difficult. Yeah, and that one. Come on, it's right there, lady. Pick it up! Okay, fine. Be a pain in the nuisance and stupid lady. Right.
Heading there.
What about these things over here? They look great. Yeah. Commit violence to the enemy person.
Vlaakith guide me.
Let's go tie this one down. Because now disengaging isn't just something they get to do willy-nilly. Perfect. Knout of use there.
Another step forward.
Forward, Istik, before more dragons.
Yeah, alright, lady, I'm backing you up. Nonsense. You have all of the movement. And now you're just being a nuisance. Killing time. Or missing time. Okay, fine. Misses almost all round. Lovely. Excellent. Well, you know, we've had our fun. Let's go do the thing.
Here goes nothing.
Okay, Andros, be a hero.
Transponder. You've made it in time.
Now things are going to get very interesting, because he falls all the way back and the thing goes all the way back with him. Then he's going to come flying forwards. Oh joy, what a horrible situation. It's as if reality is falling apart around him, and he sees it. He reaches, grabs, pulls up, does not adjust his other hand at all, and somehow manages to reach up and grab it anyway. Lovely. So now we're going to be treated to a rather long load sequence, because for some reason it would seem that a lot of the optimization done in the last patch has been undone in this one, and we are going to get a lot of blocky textures and things loading in slowly again. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And you know what? Eventually by release all these things will probably be ironed out, but for now it's a little bit lumpy. And also, we're back at the things, it's either there or around here that it usually sticks. So yeah, nice fun, long fun loading time. So, Shadowheart, yeah. The problem with her previously was trying to get into her content at all, which was rather difficult to access. It eventually seemed to be locked behind a high difficulty social skill check that did not get any easier with repeated attempts, and seemed to be designed for those people who assume that the only way to get a woman's affections is to apply enough force and pressure, and that no matter how much she dislikes you, eventually that's just automatically going to work. And maybe if you're arrogant enough to believe that, it might eventually come true for you after many, many repeated attempts. Probably on many, many different women. However, for women like Shadowheart, that's probably not really the case. I say as I stare at the black screen and wait for stuff to load in. It'll come soon. Any moment. Any moment now. And this lack of loading is obviously why I'm going to be skipping cutscenes a lot more when playing with the White Seer and Fujibato. Blocky textures. The blocky texture game. It's okay. It's okay. It'll get better with time. It's all fine. I have to tell myself this. So a lot of people are complaining about Shadowheart, about this lady's new face and hair. I'm not sure her face has changed that much. It does seem to slightly. The hair, on the other hand, a lot of it looks like it was originally designed to be going back into a ponytail or bun that simply isn't there. And it's an interesting choice of hairstyle. One that definitely looks edgy and suits her manager-seeking personality, in which to say she seeks a managerial position. She likes to be in control. She likes to tell people that she is the boss, and she wants them to know it. They've softened the 90-degree turn during falling, where originally the character would come out and then like turn round mid-air. It's now a more gradual turn. I like that. Or I just haven't seen it for absolutely ages. So this is night time, right? This is dark. Not dark anymore. We're back to broad daylight.
Hells. Come can't believe I'm in one piece.
Well then, let's go and say hello to our new surprise on the beach. It's not a cocktail called Sex on the Beach, that's just a cocktail. Mangled Fisherman, but hey, here's Shadowheart, who appears to be unconscious. Let's go wake her up. Oh look, she's unconscious. She can't stop us touching it now. Right. This is tricky. The decent thing to do would be to wake her up and respect her privacy. I feel that all the Shadowheart fans blatantly want to grab this thing and touch it and all those prickly points and be like, oh, what's going to happen? I have experimented with this in the first place. But look, all those sharp prickly bits could be digging into her hands, and she might like smack herself in the head of it or something when she wakes up. Might not realise it's in her hand if she's really drowsy. So maybe I should just take it away from her before she hurts herself with it, because it does look very dangerous. And I've experienced this option. Let's see what this one does. Yeah, this ain't gonna end well. Well, woke her up.
What are you doing?
Well, and she blatantly hides it. Mainly checking to see if you're alive.
I'm alive, yes. Thank you for the concern. And speaking of, how are we alive?
Speaking of which, you are not American. Do not truncate sentences and miss out words. It makes you sound like an idiot who can't talk properly. Right. Well, I was hoping you might know a bit of that, but you seem to be more unconscious than I.
I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
So in some regards this is interesting, because if you don't try to take the device out of her hand, some of her dialogue lines don't have lip sync yet. So this is clearly the direction they want us to take. Do you know what happened to our Githyanki friend? Or Githsarai?
You might want to reconsider calling her a friend. Looks like she ran off without us.
Well then, perhaps we should look for her. She might be hurt.
You're more concerned for her than she is for you, clearly. We need to take care of ourselves. First things first. We need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer.
Okay, she interrupted
We might have
herself
escaped,
there.
but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
Yes, that's why the three of us need to be together. To contain the threat, as it were. You know, we need to self-isolate together as we're considered a family. So, it's nice that you used the word we. You want us to stay together for a bit?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Well, I'm glad she understands and acknowledges this without having to have it explained to her. So, very well, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again. For it would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod. But you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
God, that smile, that smile like he thinks he's getting on well there. I'd like to thank you for she can't bring herself to say it, can she? Well, you know what? I think I should probably end the episode here, because I've been recording for a bit of a while, and I know we haven't got into too much, but things are a little different. She seems a little more friendly, but we'll see how long it lasts. For now, though, I'm going to end this one here. I hope you've all enjoyed this session, and I do look forward to seeing you all on the next one. I'm going to say bye-bye for now, though, and cheerio, everyone.